You can't sit that way.
Right now.
Really?
Yes.
Good morning.
We are live on the Instagram.
Really?
Yes.
Is anyone on Instagram anymore?
I do believe so.
Really?
We'll see. What day is it?
Today's Thursday.
Thursday.
Tomorrow's
Happy
Friday.
Thursday, everyone. Yeah.
What day is it? Seriously?
I didn't know. Hey everybody, how are you guys this morning? Yeah, I really didn't know what day it was.
Interesting.
Occupational hazard. Hey, look, see, lots of people on Instagram this morning. We promised we would come on this morning.
You promise.
Well, yeah, I kind of roped you in.
I didn't promise anything.
I snookered you into doing it.
You did snooker me.
It's like the good old days, right? Yes. There's Sam joining in. She was at the meetup last night.
The Chicagoland meetup.
Yes, there was a meetup last night in the Chicago suburbs that was supposed to be about Etsy print on demand.
Snookered.
Snookered. And the word of the day is snookered.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up being more just like an overview of why you should do print on demand or the opportunities with print on demand,
Yeah.
and not really about Etsy in particular.
Yeah, it didn't really go into depth about really anything. It was just a real basic overview of the pros of doing print on demand.
Yes.
There's no startup cost.
Yes. Sell quick, ship quick says they're alive this morning. Yay. Small Town Hustle says I'm having deja vu. So yeah, it wasn't exactly what we were expecting. We still had fun though.
Yes, we did have fun.
We had a lot of fun hanging out with some Instagram peeps. Sam being one of them.
Sam was there.
I only got in trouble for laughing too hard once.
You got several looks, but
Yeah, well, you know. What are we talking about? We haven't had coffee yet. Print on demand. So, last night was just basically an overview, though.
yes. Yeah, we went to Chicagoland meetup last night. It was supposed to be about Etsy print on demand, but it just basically glossed over print on demand in general.
Yes. And so let me tell you the reasons why you should be on print on demand. Because you can make money without having to hold your inventory.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That was it. That was the whole thing.
And print on demand is a great opportunity. Absolutely. But at least for the people that we know that were there, I think everybody kind of already knew that.
Yeah.
Like, we all already see the opportunity in print on demand.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I mean, you come up with an idea and you put it on Amazon, for instance, and there's no real startup cost at all. The only cost that it is your time.
Yeah. You just covered the whole talk from last. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Well, this video, I will either save this here or I will save it and put it up on YouTube. Depends on how my phone works at the end. Yeah, reason enough. Absolutely. How to get started. That's why I haven't done it yet. So if you are interested in print on demand, there are a lot of different ways to do it. The one kind of everyone gravitates to is merch by Amazon because there's truly no cost there. The biggest barrier to entry there is getting a merch by Amazon account.
Which is not easy these days.
No, it is not.
Yeah.
But if you have not applied for a merch by Amazon account, you absolutely should at least try to get one.
Yeah, and if you get accepted, be very thankful you did because they're not letting everybody in right now. So
Yes.
and they will go through times where they do just open up
They let people in and then
let
they...
people in. So you just have
Yeah.
to keep trying, basically.
Yeah. But if you are already, and it works, yes. So if you are already on merch and looking for another avenue to do print on demand, or if you can't get a merch account and you would still like to do print on demand, Etsy's probably the next best option. The velocity isn't as much on Etsy as it is on
Amazon.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Oh, the puppy paws. Yeah, the dog just walked by. But in our experience, the margins are much better
Oh,
on
absolutely.
Etsy than they are on Amazon. So it's kind of a trade-off. So you're
Yeah.
trading off velocity for more profit per item because it's a different buyer there. So I'll give you, I promised everybody that I snookered into going last night, that I would give you a quick overview into how to do print on demand with Etsy. So, are you ready for this? I know you're so excited.
I'm all ears.
I know you're so excited. So I have done print on demand with Etsy for quite a while now.
Yeah, a few years.
And up until just recently, I've always just used the Over app. The Over app is only available on
iOS.
so only if you have an Apple phone. But if you have an Apple phone, you just pop open your Over app. There is a quick tutorial of how to use the Over app to design with in my bio in the highlights. Because it's the same whether you're doing the Over app into merch or you're going to do the Over app with the intent of having that listing on Etsy. So you open up the Over app, and generally speaking, you want to start with t-shirts because they're just the easiest. I use a company called Printful. It's Print, F-U-L. And they will integrate directly into your Etsy store. So you just open up your Over app. It's the same exact size parameters as what you would use for merch. So it's 4,500 by 5,400. Change your size to that. Get your transparent background. Make your design. Super easy. Save the file just like you would for merch. But then instead of uploading it into merch, you're going to go over to Printful. They do have an app now. I always just go onto the web browser. And you're going to go to your store within Printful. That is only going to appear after you have linked your Etsy store with Printful. Makes sense, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm riveted.
I know you are. You love this stuff. You love it when the money comes in. So then you just open up Printful and you select a t-shirt, upload your design image, and then click through. So you're going to click through description, title, pricing, all of that. Then that is going to create a draft in your Etsy store. So then you can go over to your Etsy store, open up your drafts. There's your t-shirt, change your title, add your tags, and you're off to the races.
Yeah, and if you're concerned about being not artistic enough to design t-shirts, she draws like a 3-year-old with crayons. So, and she can do it very well. You don't have to be artistic at all.
No. No. The most artistic person does not win. The most creative person does.
Yeah.
Matt looks as excited as I do when my wife serves broccoli. Well, there you go, G Vegas. Exactly. So yeah, you don't have to be overly creative. You don't have to be drawing beautiful images, or you just don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's super duper easy. Once you kind of get your feet under you with t-shirts, there are a lot of different ways that you can go with print on demand with Etsy. So with merch, you're pretty much, well, you're not pretty much, you are restricted to t-shirts, sweatshirts, v-necks, raglan tees, long sleeves, tank tops, zip-up hoodies.
Yeah. Basically just clothing.
Yeah, so just tops. But with Etsy, you can do all sorts of different products. So Printful is going to offer you all those same t-shirt options, but then they have things like aprons and hats and
We'll do coffee mugs.
coffee mugs, all sorts of different things. When you want to go to do those products, the stinky thing about Printful is they don't tell you the dimensions.
Stinky.
Stinky.
Okay.
was my nice word for the morning. They don't tell you the exact dimensions of what that design is going to need to be in order to fit onto that product. So it's a little bit of trial and error of, okay, you know, a coffee mug is going to need a smaller image than a t-shirt. So let me cut my dimensions in half and see how it looks. So there's a little bit
but
of
once
trial
you
and
get
error.
it figured out,
Then you know your dimensions and
you know your dimensions and you just go from there.
yeah. And there are a lot of different companies that will directly integrate into Etsy. So Printify is one that I've heard a lot of people talk about. I can't remember the other ones off the top of my head. But you can, I overcomplicated it and ended up not doing anything after taking a step back to keep it simple. We uploaded 6, yes, Hugo and Tiff, you guys are now off to the races there also. It's really not overly complicated. On Etsy, you do still need to be checking your trademarks.
Absolutely. Anywhere
yeah.
that you post the design, you need to check trademarks.
They're not as harsh with their trademark protection, I will say, as Amazon is. When you upload to Amazon, you better make sure there are no IP claims against that, there's no trademark against that, whatever. Etsy is more like eBay in that they're going to let your design go up, but then if a company comes and says, hey, that's ours, then it's going to get pulled and then you're going to get in trouble. But so you still need to be checking your trademarks.
Yeah, and checking your trademarks is really easy. Don't let that throw you. Go on a website. It's TM as in Mary, Hunt, Hunt. T for trademark.
M for trademark.
Trademark. Mark. T for tray, sorry.
Hunt.
TM Hunt. And then you just type in whatever you're going to put in there. And always check partial.
Yes.
Don't check complete phrase.
Sorry.
Because there could be one word, if you're doing a phrase, there could be one word in that phrase that's trademarked.
Yeah.
And if you do a complete search, so you always want to just check partial. Basically then if it says trademark Hunt, it's going to check trade, then mark, then Hunt. And it's going to check those 3 different words.
But that is the trademark site for clothing. So if then you decide you want to do a shower curtain or something, a coffee mug, you would want to check the trademarks on the government site, which is USP something or other. Just Google government trademark, because that will give you then all of the trademarks available for those words or those phrases. So yeah, so you want to watch that, check those things, but it's really not that difficult. Then once you get your product up on Etsy, it's super easy. So I know a lot of people stay away from it because they think they're going to have to do all this customer service with it. If I get 5 messages on that account a year, that was kind of a lot. Mm-hmm. So unless you are offering customization, USPTO or something, unless you're offering customization or something like that, you're really not going to get a lot of interaction with customers.
And that's the majority of the questions you get.
Yes.
Is people saying, hey, can you customize it?
And I just say no. Because in my experience, if I go and I create a design for someone specifically, like with their name on it or whatever, I create the listing, all of that, they are gone and I never see them again. So it just doesn't work great for me. But yeah, so how long does it take for the customer to get their order? So that depends on the time of year. But when you push your listing through to the draft process, Printful is going to set the handling time for you. And other than in Q4, when things can get really backed up and the post office gets really backed up, those handling times have always been sufficient. So I don't even worry about it. But so what's going to happen is when originally I was going to miss this because yay, Sarah's here. So what's going to happen when you sell an item on Etsy print on demand? You're going to get an email or a notification that says, "Hey, congratulations, you made a sale. Yay, you." And then you're going to get a second email from your print on demand company. So I'll get a second email from Printful that says, "Hey, we got your order. This is what the customer paid. This is what you're paying. Here's your profit." At that point, not before, but at that point, Printful charges our card for the cost of the item. So I get charged then, they start making the product. Etsy then will deposit the money that the buyer paid into our account the next day. So you do kind of have to float that payment for a day.
But it's, what is it, like $15 for like a t-shirt, $10 for a t-shirt? I mean,
yeah, it's pretty low.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not talking you have to float like $1,000 or anything.
Well, I mean, if you sold 100 shirts in a day, then...
If you sold 100 shirts in a day, you should be happy you have to float $1,000.
Yeah, then just be happy. But yeah, other than the 20-cent listing fee to Etsy, you're not going to pay anything until the item actually sells.
Yeah.
So, not a bad deal.
So again, no startup costs at all. The only cost that it's going to have is the sale of the merchandise once it sells to the customer. Mm-hmm. And at that point, the money's pretty much guaranteed then.
Yeah, you're going to get your money. It's just going to...
It's just there's a 24-hour or 48-hour
delay.
But
yeah, then Printful gets the order. They're going to make the product. They're going to ship it out. All of that is then taken care of. Yet you can choose the quality of the shirt and the style. Printful has several different options to quality. Of course, a better quality shirt is going to be more expensive. But then they have V-necks, they have tank tops, they have crop tops, they have all sweatshirts, all those kinds of things.
I want a crop top.
You should have a crop top. So it's super duper easy. No reason why you can't jump on there, put some designs up and see what works. Just recognizing that it is a different buyer on Etsy than... So we have shirts that are on Amazon and on Etsy. And some shirts will sell on Amazon and not on Etsy. And some shirts will sell on Etsy and not on Amazon. It's just a different buyer. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they also have leggings, hats, posters. Yeah, they have all sorts of stuff. You can go onto Printful and just browse all their products and see all the different options.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then like Printify has even more options available to you. And then the other nice thing about Etsy versus Amazon is there are no restrictions to how many products you can put up today. So when you get an Amazon account,
you got to be tiered.
You have to be tiered up. So you can only put up 10 designs until you sell 10 designs. And then I think it's 25 maybe, and then but it's a slower process.
You got to build yourself up, yeah.
So how do returns work? You can set no returns to your Etsy account and just say no returns. You can offer returns and then the buyer would have to ship the item back to you. Knock on wood, we haven't had that issue. If the production company makes an error, then you can deal with them and they will deal with the return and keeping you whole. So...
Yeah, we have ours set to no returns, don't we?
I believe so.
It's a custom product, and most people buying these realize...
Returns on Etsy are so low.
Really?
Oh, God, would. He thinks I just jinxed it.
Did you just...
But it's really not been an issue for us. Because people are buying stuff. They're buying gifts. They're pretty much happy. But yeah, you're probably going to get a return eventually. But Are the products printed digitally or screen printed? It's going to depend on the kind of product that you purchase. Because they even have some that are embroidered. Embroidered. So it's just going to depend on the production company that you use. You can order samples at, like a wholesale rate, which is always a good idea to see the actual quality of it. And do you like it? Do you like how it's lining up? Do you like how it's printing? That sort of thing. But then once you have that, you could take that same design and put that on TeePublic, on Redbubble, on all sorts of different sites to push more print on demand that is going to create more income without having to purchase a product to sell.
Or source it.
Or ship
it. Or pack it.
And then it's there forever.
Yeah.
So we have shirts that sell at least once a week, if not 2 or 3 times a week. And they have for over a year now. Yeah. So it just continues. You guys are the best. Aw, yay. We miss doing lives. We just don't always have time. Time's an issue.
Busy. But we'll do them.
We're trying.
More.
We're trying. So that is the basics of how to...
That was like an expert course.
Compared to last night?
Compared to last night.
Speaking my language. So that's the basics of doing an Etsy print on demand. It's really not that difficult. Keep in mind, though, if you already have an Etsy shop, like you have an Etsy store for vintage items, you're probably going to want to create a second store for your print on demand because your handling time is going to be different and that sort of thing. But before you can create that second store, you have to contact Etsy. Don't just do it and think, oh, this is like eBay. I can have as many stores as I want. It's not. They will pull both of your stores. Even if you use your husband's name on your print on demand shop and you used your name on your vintage shop, they will pull them both.
How do you know this?
Because it creates a mild to major panic when all of a sudden both of your stores have been axed. And then you have to call and beg for forgiveness.
It's almost like you lived through it.
It's almost like that. So please contact them first. Follow all their rules. You have to note in both of your accounts that you have the other one. They just want to make sure that you're not selling the exact same product on most stores.
Cross-listing onto multiple stores in the same platform. And that's like that with pretty much every selling platform. You just can't.
Yeah. Do you find running ads on Etsy helps? No. I do not do whatever they call it over there. Promoted, sponsored.
Pay-per-click
ads. Absolutely not. Tried it and found out that our competition would go in and just click through that budget before 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. So we were just paying for the competition to click through.
Yep.
So no, it was not worth it. I've got designs in Redbubble that are a year plus old still. Yeah, same here.
Yeah, if you come up with a good design, I mean, it's going to sell.
It'll just continue to sell.
And then you could just put that on multiple platforms and promote it multiple different ways.
Yeah.
And you can do really well.
If you just, Shabby and Vintage, if you just want to add a shirt section to your existing Etsy shop, you're just going to want to make sure that you note all of those listings, that the handling time is different, and that you can't combine those products with other products in your store.
Yeah.
So, because, you don't have those products to combine shipping or whatever. So you're just going to want to make sure that you note that. And then that might mean that you get a few more customer inquiries into, why can't I combine this? Or if I buy this, will you... I don't like dealing with all that. That's why I have the separate shop. So just make sure that you're noting that. But Etsy Print on Demand is great for us. Mm-hmm. And does really, really well, especially into fourth quarter. You can put, yes, the same design on multiple products. Absolutely. Now, the difference with like a Redbubble or TeePublic or a Merch is that when you are creating that same product across multiple products, that same design across multiple products, you're not paying anything additional. On Etsy, if I want to put that same design on a men's t-shirt, a women's t-shirt, a child's t-shirt, and a hat, I had to pay 4 listing fees. So I am going to pay the 20 cents 4 times to get that design across multiple products, which it is 20 cents for 4 months. So it's not a huge cost, but if you wanted to do 10,000 today, it could add up. So just be aware of that.
Yeah, but on merch by Amazon, there's no
listing fee at all. Redbubble, there's no listing fee. TeePublic, there's no listing fees. Most of those other sites, there's not. And then you can put across. Redbubble has like stickers. So my best selling product on Redbubble is stickers. And then they have like coffee mugs and journals and all sorts of stuff that you can it's just one click though. And then it just
really
across all of them. Yeah. Yeah. Redbubble, TeePublic, those sites are more wild west in regards to trademarks and that sort of thing. But play it safe.
Yeah, be careful because they're not going to be wild west forever. Sooner or later, they're going to start cracking down, and the last thing you want is to have a whole bunch of questionable, are they going to make it or not, past trademark.
Yeah, and, the moment that they decide to start pulling accounts because people have violated trademarks, print on demand can be a great source of income. So, in our opinion, it is not worth risking that source of income for one shirt, one design, whatever. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The potential's too great to the
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just like pretty much anything.
Yeah.
You don't want to list a fake on eBay or Poshmark or anywhere else. I mean...
No. It's not worth one sale.
Yeah.
So, anybody have any questions about print on demand? Kind of just...
It's normal.
Right?
Normal Cindy.
I know. But yeah, so not anything though to be overly excited about. Best tip for print on demand on eBay. Okay, so you can do print on demand on eBay. Also, that's a little bit more dicey, especially because eBay just started instituting a no drop ship policy. It's really trying to push against people who are drop shipping off of Amazon, but I would be really careful doing print on demand into eBay. In fact, I'm staying away from it for the time being. Best tip for print on demand on Etsy would be to would be to pay attention to who is your buyer there.
Know your audience. Know your target audience and cater to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you put up then 20 different kinds of products and you see which ones are getting the most hits, the most likes, the most sales, and then you push hard against that. So figure out who your audience is there. It's just like anywhere else, and then push hard against that. Because if you go like on YouTube or whatever and you watch all the videos about merch and designing t-shirts and they're giving you ideas, those may be great ideas for Amazon, but they may not be great ideas for Etsy.
It's a different customer.
It's just a different customer.
Yeah, remember Etsy is vintage and handmade. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, what translates.
Yeah. So that would be my tip there. Yeah, you can use Printful will integrate into eBay. It just makes me a little bit concerned because right now they're so anti-drop shipping. And they're really, really pushing hard against that.
Yeah,
so,
and the last thing you want to do is jeopardize your whole eBay account.
For some t-shirts.
So, yeah.
I'm going to stay away from it for the moment.
And that's our suggestion. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, you do you. It's your business.
Yeah. We don't pay your bills, you don't pay our bills, and
You get to disagree.
now if you wanted to pay our bills, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah,
but-
we'd let you. Just go ahead.
But yeah, there's no judgment or anything. I mean, if that's what you want to do, it's your business. And that's the great thing about this is we all have our own individual businesses and we decide how we want to run them. And
Yeah. Customer service said it was fine. Yeah, then absolutely. Then there may be something in the back end there then that they have noted that this is a production company and not a drop shipper. And so yeah, if you got clearance to do it, go for it. Know that the buyer on eBay is going to be different than the buyer on Etsy.
yeah, absolutely.
On eBay, though, it's going to be way easier because you're going to be able to go through and do a completed listing search on, let's say you wanted to make t-shirts for, give me a hobby,
Cars.
for car lovers. So you could do car lover shirts onto eBay and see what was selling.
Car lover shirts.
Car guy, car aficionado, car collector, any of those.
Again, she does t-shirts. Those were some of the ideas you heard.
Yeah.
So you could do it.
When I started doing print on demand, true story. When I started doing print on demand, someone told me, okay, go and design shirts around people's hobbies because they will buy shirts around their hobbies. I said, okay. I went directly to Google and Googled hobbies for adults.
Yeah, because you have none.
I have none. Car romance, car huggers. See, these are my people. They get it.
Of course, Hugo says car romance. That's a little concerning.
So, yeah, you can even just Google hobbies for adults. If you're like me and you're like, I don't know, people have hobbies? What is that?
Wow.
Yes, because one of the things that, she said last night and that I've heard many times is that you should play into your own personal experience.
Well, yeah, because you're going to be an expert in that.
Yes. So if you love golf, then go and start designing things. That
Golf t-shirts. Or if you like to sew, or if you like to drink. If you like coffee.
Then you should go and
You can do shirts based around that. And you would be more vested in it and you would enjoy it more.
yeah, and you're gonna know, what you would buy. I just didn't have any of those things. It's like, don't really have any hobbies. So,
Yeah.
but yeah. I love eating. Is that right?
You could do an eating one though.
Food ones do really well.
Yeah.
I've got
Absolutely.
some food related shirts that do really well. So yeah, have at it. Print on demand is still relatively new. And so there's still a lot of opportunity in that market. Shirts was saying phrases to motivate, inspire, whatever. Yes, those would be great things to sell into eBay, into Etsy, on TeePublic, on Amazon, on any of those. So yeah, just start going through and looking for what does sell though, because sometimes somebody thinks something is funny, and no one else in the world also thinks it's funny. That doesn't happen with me. But
My stuff is funny.
to you.
And a 7-year-old.
Oh, that's probably true. But to the rest of us, we're like, what does that even mean?
Be careful with the motivational phrases. You want to trademark hunt those.
Oh yeah, you want to trademark.
I mean,
everything.
but yeah, you want to trademark everything, but motivational phrases can be...
Yeah, they get pretty
Pretty
heavy on the trademarks.
Yeah, so just make sure before you
Yeah.
just send it live, just go on TM Hunt, do a partial search,
Yeah,
which
and-
means it just inspects each individual
Well,
word
and
separately.
we want to do the whole phrase on TM Hunt, and then you want to do the sections of the phrase.
Yeah.
So let's say I was going to do a shirt that said, I like to drink coffee and take naps. If I put that entire phrase into TM Hunt, even if I hit partial, it might not pick up that I like to drink coffee
is
is
trademarked. Yeah, because it's going to look at I, and then it's going to look at
So
Mike, and
yeah,
it's going to look at...
you're gonna want to do I like to drink coffee, research that, and then you're gonna want to do and take naps and research that. just to make sure that you're covering all of your bases. So if your text, if your phrase, whatever, can be broken up into smaller phrases, smaller sections, just check that.
Yep. And if you're Ohio State,
Yeah, somebody brought that up.
You're going to trademark the word "the."
And some of the things that you will see that are trademarked, you'll be like, seriously, people, how many times? Seriously, that's trademarked?
I'm just going to trademark letters.
Right. Yeah.
You can't use anything at all.
All the letters.
I have all the letters covered.
Ha! Take that. I love eating. Yeah. So just make sure you're checking your trademarks.
Mm-hmm.
But such a great way to be able to increase your income without increasing your cost of goods, your outlay.
expenditures. Yeah.
And it's something that you can do in 10 minutes here and there.
Yep.
So you've got 10 minutes while you're sitting in the carpool pickup line waiting for kids. You've got 10 minutes while you're, waiting at a doctor's office for an appointment, whatever. You've got time while your husband's watching some stupid show on black holes. Great time to design shirts. You can trademark your own sayings. It does get a little bit pricey, so you would want to really look into that.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it unless you were confident that it was going to be a very popular.
Yeah, and something that was going to stay.
Yeah.
How does trademarking work with quotes by authors? So there are some quotes by authors that are in the public domain. Otherwise, if it is just like, say I wanted to take a quote out of a book that was written by some whomever, that is still their intellectual property. So even though it might not have a trademark on it, they would be able to IP claim it.
Yeah, it's a plagiarism.
Yes.
Plagiarism.
So don't do it.
Yeah.
New side hustle, obtain all the trademarks. Yes. We make designs while we're at the gym. Yes. Yeah. Hugo's evidently going to watch the black hole show with you.
That's interesting stuff.
It's not. It's really not. It's
Start
right up there with
about the singularity and warping space-time and. Do you know the faster you
nobody wants to
travel
know,
towards
sweetheart.
this closer to the speed of light, the less you age?
Oh, well, now you're talking my language. Maybe we'll do that. So anyhow, you just want to be careful that you're not. I did a phrase that did not have any trademarks on it, but then found out that it was a popular phrase from a movie. And so there was an IP claim, an intellectual property claim against it, even though there wasn't a trademark on it. So just be aware of that. How do you search sold for phrases and see how much is selling? Tips. So on eBay, just type in a phrase into their search. And just like if you were looking up a t-shirt or a pair of shoes and see, okay, this is how many of them are selling. And then see what price point they are selling for. Then you can go over to Printful and see, okay, what would that product cost me? And is there profit on that after I pay my listing fees, my eBay fees, any promoted listing fees, all of that? His internet guru, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, when is the Matt and Hugo dance-off? We do need to figure out the Hugo Matt dance-off.
I'm waiting.
How do you figure out if it could be IP protected? Well,
that's
a little bit trickier.
Yeah.
In my case, I messaged someone that I know who's very proficient in print on demand and said, why is this one getting held up? And that person said, that's because that came from this movie that everyone else in the entire world has seen. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, you didn't even.
I don't watch movies. So if there's a lot of them, you can just Google it. Just Google the phrase. And if it comes up that it's from a movie or a book or something like that, then
don't use it.
Chances are it's going to have an IP claim against it. So you just kind of have to Do the research. And you do get better about kind of getting a sixth sense about what is going to have an IP claim against it, what's going to have a trademark against it versus what isn't.
Yeah, as a rule of thumb, don't use movie quotes.
Yeah.
Don't use quotes from books.
Yeah.
And you'll be pretty safe from the IP claim.
Because it has to be super popular. Like if you tried to do a shirt that said, I feel the need for speed because the new Top Gun movie is going to come out, that's probably going to have an IP claim against it. Because everybody knows that movie came from Top Gun.
Yep. Or Go Ahead, Make My Day.
Yes.
Clint Eastwood. You can't.
So that's what the IP claim is for. It's for when you could confuse a customer. So, are you? No, we do not sell print on demand on eBay at all. I won't say that we would never sell print on demand on eBay, but not right now. Not right now. Yeah, no song quotes.
Yeah, song quotes. That's another good one. Yeah.
You know, that's not gonna cut it. So, if you, I'm trying to think of a song quote. Oh, like the baby shark, just daddy shark, mommy shark, grandma. Stay away from it. Stay away from it, because it's.
Can I make a T-shirt that just says Velcro on it?
No, you cannot make a T-shirt that says Velcro on it.
Can I make a T-shirt that says Hook and Loop?
Probably. There you go. So yeah, so I mean, you know, kind of common sense stuff. You really just get a sixth sense about it.
Yeah, yeah, you'll get better at it. I mean, just start with just basics.
Yeah.
And then work your way.
Yeah, and if you have a merch account, you will get a shirt that is going to get you in trouble.
It's inevitable. It happens to everybody.
Yeah, it's kind of like getting a Vero claim on eBay. If you are an eBay seller, you've either had a Vero claim or you will have a Vero claim.
Yeah.
If you list shirts on merch, you've either had one get rejected or you will have one get rejected. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. Like you do your best and then
don't let it paralyze you.
Yeah.
Don't let it paralyze you. Just
don't overcomplicate it. It's serious are the consequences for making a mistake. So it's just like if you got a Vero claim on eBay. So they're gonna pull that item. Your listings are gonna fall to the bottom of search for a while. If you get multiples, they will cancel your account. So, but yeah, it's just like getting a Vero.
Yep. Put you in timeout for a little bit and slap the back of your hand and.
Yeah, you got to go sit in timeout for a little while.
Yeah, but you just don't repeatedly.
Yeah. And as long as you're checking, you're pretty much going to be okay.
Yeah.
When are we doing lives again? We have no set schedule for lives right now. I am trying to post when we're going to do them. I'm trying to talk about when we're going to do them at the beginning of the week. Just because life hasn't kind of found a rhythm yet. And football season starts, which means all of my coaching call times are going to change because our lives revolve around football during football season.
Yeah, but
we're going to do them.
Like to do more.
Yes.
I miss doing them.
It's basically me finding the time. So you're all in whenever.
It's all about you.
You're all in whenever. But on that note, I do have a call here.
Yeah, you got a coaching call. So
I have a coaching group here in just a few minutes, so we have to get. But I just wanted to share with everybody kind of the basics of print on demand on Etsy and how to do it, that sort of thing. Because I think it's a great opportunity. And if you're thinking about doing it, now's the time to do it. Go get those listings up before fourth quarter hits. I am going to either save this here on Instagram or I will put it up on YouTube.
At the very least, it'll get saved on Instagram.
One or the other.
So you have 24 hours. A couple other things. eBay, if you're in the Chicagoland area, eBay's doing a... What are they calling it?
Upfront,
eBay Upfront.
September 11th. That is a free event. Mm-hmm. It's really focused towards newer sellers, but I will be there. You're not going because all the girls are going. So it will be a fun time. And then Ecom Chicago. We are speaking at Ecom Chicago. That is October 16th through the 18th, I want to say.
She's speaking. I'm just there for moral support.
You're just the pretty face. So that is in October. That is not just eBay, though. That is eBay, Amazon, KDP, lots of different speakers from lots of different e-commerce avenues. And
they do that coaching corner the day before where you get 15 minutes.
With any of the speakers that you want. So you go and, 15 minutes, ask them anything you want.
Well, almost.
They might not answer you or not. But he's gorgeous. Who's gorgeous?
That's Hugo. I guarantee you, that is not Tiffany.
So
Thank you, Hugo. You're gorgeous too.
How do you find those events? eBay Upfronts. There's one in Chicago in September. Then they will be in New York after that. They have not released any other cities or dates yet. The e-commerce event, Ecom Chicago, we know about because we went last year and we're speaking this year. Beyond that, I don't know. Go to meetup.com if you're looking for an e-commerce meetup in your area. So that is all for today.
And we will see you at an undisclosed date in the future.
Are you doing groups in Q4? I don't know yet. Am I doing coaching groups in Q4? The honest answer to that is I don't know. I have a few slots left available in groups for September. Beyond that,
We talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Definitely a bromance going on between Matt and Hugo.
Well, I mean, anyone's met Hugo, you can understand.
Right? He's a good guy. Anyhow.
So, but at the very least, well, we don't say you'll do them in Q1 either. So
No. Same bat time, same bat channel. That's right. So you guys have a great day. Enjoy your day. Go make some sales. At least look at print on demand. It's a good opportunity.
And apply for merch by Amazon. At the least
it doesn't cost you anything to apply.
Yeah, just apply for it.
See what happens.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.